My name is Michael Myers, and I'm the Clinical Support Manager for Contec Healthcare. The USP Appeals Panel has handed down their final decision on the appeals to Chapter 795, 797, and 825. So we just wanted to give you a quick update on what the Appeals Panel decided and how that may affect the way that you clean and disinfect your compounding pharmacies. With Chapter 797 and 795, the Appeals Panel granted the appeal. This means that they are remanding the chapters back to the Compounding Expert Committee with a recommendation for further engagement on the issues raised concerning the beyond use date provisions. USP did add a note for those facilities that wanted to early adopt those revised standards. They said that the revised Chapters 795 and 797 published on June 1st, 2019 did not become official and are not appropriate for early adoption based on the appeals panel decision. Facilities that have already early adopted the revised standards should work with the states, regulators, and accreditation bodies to determine what is required. Keep in mind that the currently enforceable version of 797 and the revised 797 only establish minimum standards. When it comes to cleaning and disinfecting your compounding pharmacy, Contec teaches and encourages the use of best practices that exceed the minimum standards in either the currently enforceable 797 or the proposed revisions. In regards to USP Chapter 825, the Appeals Panel has denied the appeal to General Chapter 825, and they've encouraged the appellate to submit the narrow request that they presented at the appeals hearing before the panel to the Chemical Medicines Monograph Expert Committee as a request for revision. So this means that the USP Chapter 825 will be informational and not compendibly applicable. Once the USP Expert Committee issues a date, and they're going to give a 6-month window before that will become official, that we should expect to hear that date out of the Expert Committee shortly after it's formed. Before we end, I want to talk just a little bit about USP Chapter 800. Chapter 800 was not subject to any appeal, and it did become official on December 1st, 2019. Chapter 800 is informational and is not compendibly applicable. However, USP encourages following USP 800 in the interest of public safety. Since the currently enforceable version of 797 is going to remain in effect, there are 2 areas where it isn't harmonized with Chapter 800, and that has to do with beyond use dating and then low volume compounding of hazardous drugs. So what you need to do is check with your local state regulators. States, regulators, and accreditation bodies may make their own determination on the implementation and enforcement of USP standards. So reach out to your state boards of pharmacy and understand what their requirements are in regards to USP Chapter 800. So those are the details on the appeals to Chapter 795, 797, and 825. Please reach out to Contec Healthcare to find out how we can help you with the best practices to clean and maintain your sterile compounding pharmacy.